Biofuel Company, LLC, also known as Bio-One Fuel, is currently under investigation by the Texas Tech Safety Board for process safety management and risk management plan violations. In industry, process safety management and risk management plans are used to protect employees and residents surrounding processing plants. In the PSM justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the employers, who implement process safety requirements, and the safety board, who make videos about the employers if they don't comply. These are their stories. Biofuel Company, LLC, is made up of a small group of people. The dream team, you could say. They have the hardworking girl, the good-looking guy, and the goofball. Little did they know, their lives would be forever changed in the following events. On April 7, 2017, when Bio-One Fuel's bioreactor exploded and set fire to the building, the Dream Team turned into a nightmare. The events leading up to the accident were major violations of PSM and were caused due to lack of inherent safety in the design of the reactor. The following dramatization shows and accurately depicts the sequence of events as they occurred.
It was April 7th at 10:29 a.m. Workers were arriving to the Bio-One Fuel lab. Many of the process safety management standards were ignored at this company.
The first PSM violation of the company was lack of employee participation in process safety requirements. More importantly, the issue was not addressed immediately. When the employee was asked, he gave the following response. "Well, when I went to put on the helmet, I tested it. Turned out it's not as hard as my head, so I just decided I didn't really need it." Employers failed to properly train employees on the necessity of PPE like wearing a helmet. In fact, no employers were present at any time during the investigation. The following shows the complicated process that Bio-One Fuel uses to produce their new fuel that is biological. And no, it has nothing to do with any of this other equipment that we are seeing right now. It's really just some water and vial and a bucket. The reactor's simplistic design did not include any kind of equipment to help handle the inherently unsafe, flammable liquids being produced. The bioreactor in its current state fails to meet many of the regulations that are required by OSHA, but no pre-startup review was done to ensure that these regulations were met. A process hazard analysis was conducted by the design engineer for the company before the reactor was implemented. He recommended that the reactor was in an unsafe condition in its current state, but also said that if they don't do anything about it, they don't have to spend money. Management took the latter to be his advice and decided to do nothing about it. It was a hard day of work at Biofuel Company, LLC, and as the day went on, some of the workers got very hungry.
Man, I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna grab a sandwich.
Dude, there's no sandwiches in the lab.
Why not?
Well, because something bad could happen.
No one's here.
Instead of taking further action, the female employee decided that it would be a good idea to roll her eyes and storm off in anger.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Dude, a sandwich?
Dude, I'm trying to save money.
Man, it's Friday, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's go to Jimmy's to get some margaritas.
You're an alcoholic. Give me my sandwich, man.
No,
Give
come
me
on,
my
come
sandwich,
on.
bro. Oh. You idiot. God.
Well, now that your sandwich is gone, at least we can go get lunch.
I mean, I guess.
That's alright. It'll eat it away.
So, Jimmy's?
For sure, man. Let's go.
Dude, my wife's gonna kill me. I've been spending so much money this week.
Dude, it's on me, no worries.
Oh,
Let's do this
in that
thing.
case. We should fucking pick one.
With the sandwich left in the reactor with its contents, the contents of the reactor began to seep into the packaging of the sandwich, and once it seeped through, it began reacting violently. The following is a depiction of what that reaction would have looked like. Warning: the following image of the reaction is very graphic, and if you are faint of heart, you should look away now. Unfortunately, the reaction occurring in the vessel was only the beginning of their issues. And honestly, if you've thought that that was going to be the only problem that they had, you've never seen a CSB investigation before. The sandwich partially coagulated inside of the reactor due to the reaction, creating a blockage in the reactor effluent pipe. This blockage increased the pressure of the vessel past the point for which it was designed for. The following is a video of a TTSB investigator giving more of the same information that I already gave you in this narration.
So basically, what happened was the sandwich clogged the pipe, preventing all pressure from being released in the vessel. The pressure increased in the vessel until it, well, exploded.
The coagulated blockage that was created in the reactor effluent pipe led to an increase in pressure that could not be relieved because the relief valve to the bioreactor failed to relieve the pressure due to improper maintenance on the relief valve.
Maintenance on the pressure release valve was inadequate and failed. The PSM requires that the equipment be checked on a daily basis, and this was not the case at Bio 1 Fuel that day. Reaction in the bioreactor continues at too high of a rate, and biofuel leaked from the lid of the reactor into the surrounding air.
As alluded to by the TTSB investigator, the relief valve not relieving the pressure of the reactor led to the leak that occurred in the top of the bioreactor due to the overpressure because the relief valve did not relieve the pressure. TTSB investigators have believed to pinpoint the location of the hole in the reactor to the top. The hole can be seen in this close-up shot of the reactor itself. As the employees returned from their lunch, they had no idea of the issues that were building up inside the lab. There was no monitoring system in place, no alarms while they were gone, so no one knew of the built-up pressure as they entered the building. The employees of Bio 1 Fuel, or Biofuel Company LLC, just whatever you want to call it, had no idea at all of the pressure, as we have mentioned in this video. Normally there should have always been a person in the lab watching, but they all decided to take a lunch break at the same time. If the employees had done what they were supposed to, there would not have been built up pressure in the reactor.
Is that a narrator?
The slow leak in the bioreactor had let biofuel into the air, as well as the smell of a burnt sandwich from the sandwich reacting with the bioreactor. Slowly, the employees started to notice the smell. First the folder guy, and then the girl that's pouring water into the beaker.
Do y'all smell that?
Smell what?
I don't know, it kind of smells like a burnt sandwich.
I don't smell anything. But maybe we should just light a candle. The smell will go away then for sure.
That's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Instead of confronting the issues and taking care of the situation, once again, you can see that the female employee has decided to storm off in anger. Here at the TTSB, we have not confirmed in this investigation that she was the cause of it, but her attitude definitely did not resolve the situation.
Dude, we gotta light a candle. It smells like a burnt sandwich in here.
Dude, you think that's from us?
Yes, us, you dropped the sandwich in the bioreactor.
You knocked it out of
because
my
you're an
hand.
idiot.
No, this is on you, man.
How is this on me?
I don't know, it's always on you. It's never my fault.
Yeah, you never took the blame. I can't light this candle, man. Help out.
Dude, you just light it.
It's not lighting.
Just light the candle.
It's not lighting.
Man, I've had enough to hear with you
Here,
today.
you do it then.
Let me show you how it's done.
God.
As the employees tried to light the candle, the biofuel was getting more and more into the air, getting closer and closer to its lower flammability limit.
Oh, yeah.
Let it burn, baby.
Let it burn, baby. Let that aroma just sink in. Huh? Still smells like a burnt sandwich, though.
No, just give some time.
Dude, if the supervisor finds out you dropped that sandwich, he's firing you.
Dude, he's not gonna find out.
The employees keep mentioning a supervisor that seems to never be there.
Did you hear that?
Sounds like a look, right?
Yeah.
With the biofuel quickly reaching its lower flammability limit and an easily accessible ignition source in the area, all ingredients were present for what the Biofuel Company, LLC, never thought would occur.
No, Mom, I can't talk about this right now. I'll call you back after I'm done with this report. No, it's a really big deal. This is my big break. But I'll call you back.
Are we rolling? Is this live? Is this live? Oh. Jansen Graham coming to you here from Channel 4 News, where we had a big incident in a biofuel LLC company, or Bio One Fuel. They keep changing the name on us, so I'm not really sure what their name is. But there was a very serious incident here. This is breaking news. All the stuff about it is just developing. So, guys, this is a serious report. There was an accident. There was an accident in this lab for Bio One Fuel. Sorry about that. As I was saying, there was a big accident here. We do not know if anyone has been hurt yet, but it was a big explosion. We'll get back to you later with more details.
After the first ignition, the fire continued to burn due to the biofuel being in the air, which further led to the whole place just being torn to shreds. Now, unfortunately, everyone died. Just kidding, no one died, because no one's ever working here, actually. You see, they were off on another break once again. The supervisor was about to return to work, so they opted to take another break, and they just weren't here. Anyways, no one died in this accident, but the whole place was destroyed, as previously mentioned, which further leads us into our investigation and the proper infractions that were fractionated upon.
Through this investigation, Biofuel Company, LLC has the new record for the most PSM errors in a TTSB investigation. Coincidentally, though, they are the first ones that we have actually investigated, so that might be the reason. Nevertheless, they had so many that we could only cover the major ones in this video. The first error was that the reactor design was not inherently safe, with a top that was susceptible to leaks from pressurized vapors. To add fuel to this fire, safety was not a #1 priority for the employers, as they neglected to improve the design of the reactor once they knew that it was unsafe. The lack of a strong safety culture trickled down from management to the employees, as they failed to participate in the PSM program by refusing to wear proper PPE and bringing food into a lab setting. Lastly, but definitely not leastly, TTSB investigators found no records of maintenance on the relief valve to the reactor. Their PSM program required that the relief valve be checked on the operator's daily field routine, but no evidence was found that this was being conducted. Bio-1 Fuel had just as many risk management plan infractions as they did process safety management infractions. For starters, the Biofuel Company LLC was very shady at best with their public relations. The process plant they use is disguised as a student experimental lab in the chemical engineering department at Texas Tech. When asked their motives, the employers of Biofuel Company LLC would not respond. Additionally, a risk assessment was outsourced by the company, which showed that the flammability of the liquid, along with the conditions that were occurring inside the reactor with its contents, would lead to a high risk of a catastrophic failure. Management decided to use the reactor anyway. Investigators concluded that regardless of what type of leak occurred, or how big of a leak, the public would not have been informed of the matter since the employees had a poor attitude towards their safety culture. Most importantly, the company did have dispersion models, but they inaccurately predicted the release that occurred. The dispersion models that they used were based out of the Chemical Process Safety book by Daniel Crowell, and in these models, the release scenarios are for 0.1 to 10 kilometers. The confines of the building that the explosion and release occurred within were below this 0.1 kilometer distance, so the models were inaccurate. Due to the complete negligence and absolutely apathetic attitude of the employers and employees of Biofuel Company LLC, the Texas Tech Safety Board recommendation is that Biofuel Company LLC should be shut down permanently, with all employers and employees being charged with attempted manslaughter. Additionally, it is recommended that all damages to surrounding buildings caused by the explosion shall be paid back in full by the company.
Money, man. They don't pay us out here.
Dude, it's Friday. Let's go get some margaritas and chips. Here's that, Brad.
Let's save some money, man. Here, give me my set. Oh. Was I supposed to go?
Yeah.
Did it start?
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was the sandwich closed the pipe, preventing all pressure. But after the first ignition source of the candle that was lit by one of the workers, after the sandwich had been clogged in the bioreactor, after the first ignition source of the candle,
After the initial... No, that's the word.